Yes, the Kasanovians. Oh, it's been a minute. Been a minute since I've done one of these streams. I feel as though live streaming has become synonymous with my brand. I enjoy making the regular videos, the infields, me talking to camera, but I think there's something truly raw authentic with me talking, unfiltered, unedited on these streams. So what I want to do on this one is I want to really talk to the guys who are over the age of 50 because I feel a little bit nervous doing this stream. I feel a little bit jittery. I think it's because I've got a load of stuff that I know is going to be so useful. If you're a guy over the age of 50 and you want to meet a wife-worthy woman, yeah, a woman who you want to do life with, a long-term partner who you can build a future together with, start a family perhaps, then I've worked with enough guys who fit in this category now to know that I can help you. But I also know a lot of the problems that you face and a lot of the perceived problems that maybe are getting in your way at the moment. Like, oh, am I too old? Is it creepy if I approach women who are younger and hotter than me? What are my friends gonna think? What if my colleagues from work see me approaching and I get a reputation for myself in my city as some low value pickup artist? Yeah, because if you're over the age of 50, you've probably built your value, you've probably built a good reputation for yourself in your city. And you don't want to mess that up through being this weird pickup guy who's gone around the shopping malls, accusing women of being French, etc., etc. So by the end of this stream, I'm just going to give you what works. Yeah, everything that I give to my clients inside of the entourage, I'm just going to give it to you in this stream. And by the end of the stream, you're going to have a lot of clarity on what you need to do to get the results that you want. So I know what works because for some reason I seem to magnetize guys over the age of 50. I'm not sure why, but a lot of my clients, a lot of the guys in the entourage, they're over the age of 50. Yeah, and they came to me, they had a lot of self-limiting beliefs around their age. And after working with me, they got the thing that they actually wanted. So we've had a new guy who joined the entourage recently. If you know what the entourage is, it's like my private community. Yeah, so all the guys who work with me one-on-one, they don't just get the one-on-one in-person coaching, they also get access to a community of like-minded guys. And I found this to be really useful for guys over the age of 50 because evidence has got the loudest voice. It's okay for me to say to you, oh dude, you can get a wife-worthy woman if you're over the age of 50, but I'm 28 years old, right? So there's only so much belief that you might have in the things that I say. But contrast that to if you get inside of the entourage and you see guys who are getting the results that you want and they're around your age, it completely shatters what you think is possible. Because I do think that this whole game of meeting women, it's really an internal game. And I do think it's us versus us. One of my favorite quotes that I got from Alex Hormozy was, what do I believe to be true about the world that isn't? Yeah, what do you believe to be true about the world that isn't? Because I've had a few application calls recently. So when guys watch my videos, after a while, maybe a couple of weeks or a couple of months, they get curious about working with me. So they click the link beneath my videos, they schedule a free consultation call, and on that call, we have a conversation about where they're at and where they want to get to. And what I've noticed recently is a lot of guys, they just don't know what they don't know, right? So you might be going out there at the moment and you might have made the decision that you don't want to meet your wife on a dating app, you don't want to meet your wife at a nightclub, and you don't want to meet your wife through a social circle. So you want to go down the route of the good old-fashioned man-to-woman approaching her stone cold sober during the daytime. And I think it's commendable to get started on your own. But the issue that I've noticed is a lot of guys are completely oblivious to the things that are holding them back. So on these streams, a practical thing that I say to you is go out and do 100 daytime approaches, okay? Because once you've done 100 daytime approaches, you'll start to develop proficiency. You'll start to discover what works for you. And something you can do on top of that is record the audio of your conversations. So if you're going out there and you don't have a point of reference, then it's like trying to aim at a constantly moving target. You don't know what you don't know. But recently, when I've been having conversations with guys, some of them have been recording the audio of their conversations. But what I realized was they don't fucking know what to listen for, right? It's kind of like a guy who's never had any professional fight training watching himself back to try and audit his own fighting style. It doesn't really work because you don't know what to look for. Sure, you can point out the basic surface level stuff like, oh, I'm talking too fast. Oh, my conversations are not lasting long enough. But it's just way deeper than all this stuff, right? Because you might even have things going on right now which supersede the audio, right? You might be carrying a lot of sexual shame and you might not even be aware of it. And when you're in your conversations, the women, they're getting this weird feeling from you and they don't know what it is and you're completely oblivious to it, but you might be carrying sexual shame. So your conversations might just be too platonic. Women are not seeing you as this sexual option. There's so many things that guys don't know. So when guys work with me, especially when they work with me in the field one-on-one, typically it's for 3 days, one-on-one coaching. I'm listening in to their conversations on their behalf, and I'm giving them individually tailored feedback on what they need to do, right? Because it is kind of like teaching yourself how to fight with no prior experience. I'm in Bangkok right now, and I've trained Muay Thai 5 times this week, and training with actual fighters and them giving me feedback on my style, that's worth 1 million solo training sessions. Yes, this is why I say when guys work with me, one approach with me is worth around 30 approaches on your own, because I can just pinpoint exactly what's not working and then just give you that feedback after every single approach. So we had a guy who joined the entourage recently, 52 years old, really awesome guy. And he'd been trying to approach women in London, kind of on and off, not really being consistent. He didn't have accountability. He wasn't getting any feedback. He was watching my videos, but nothing was really sticking. And then within 2 weeks of him joining the entourage, he's got 2 dates lined up this week. So he went on the first date on Thursday, and he's got the next date scheduled tomorrow. So 2 dates within 2 weeks of joining the entourage. And this is why I love our community so much, because the entourage just allows guys to skip all the trial and error. Yeah, you learn from guys who are further ahead than you. And this is something else that I've noticed. When I've been having consultation calls with guys recently, I've been asking guys, right, have you ever got feedback on your approaches? Most of them say no. Have you ever had the audio of your conversations recorded? Most of them say no. Have you ever gone out, like actually physically cold approach with other guys who are better than you? And the answer is no. And it's like, dudes, how do you expect to get the result that you want if you can't get the basics in check? Again, it's like trying to teach yourself how to fight or trying to become a black belt in jiu-jitsu without any training. It doesn't work. It doesn't make sense. I view daytime cold approach as like the jiu-jitsu of social mastery. So usually with the guys who are in their 50s, they don't have time to piss away anymore. It's like, if not now, when? And they all say the same thing to me. As soon as they start approaching, as soon as they join the entourage, as soon as they get around guys who are around their age, and also guys who are younger as well. Like we've got guys in the entourage who are 21 years old who are going on multiple dates a week, right? So this microcosm, this collective consciousness of individuals, it's like a rising tide lifts all the boats. But the guys in the 50s all say the same thing. They say, I wish I'd have started sooner. So the guy in question, we'll call him Kevin. He posted this update in our private WhatsApp group the other day, which I want to share with you. So he said, a quick update on my side. Had my first date from cold approach in the entourage last night. This was with a Russian in town for the week and ended with an invite by text to visit her in St. Petersburg. Controversial. Another date set up for Sunday for another cold approach. The support of the group and the dynamic we have in here has played a huge part in all of this. So a big thanks to you all. And the way that he's done this is he just followed the system. Okay, so I've created a system which is called anti-game artistry. And this is the system that I give to all the guys that work with me, because The issue that I found when I first started Daytime Cold Approach was there was a lot of weirdos in this space who were teaching basically how to attract women. And I really didn't resonate with any of the teachings. It was all this weird, robotic, kind of almost fake persona. You know what I'm saying? It's like, oh, you need to go over, you need to push pull, you need to vibe, you need to stack, you need to wait for the girl to hook. Now you need to transition from A1 to A3 while chewing a fucking marshmallow and accusing the woman of being French with a baguette under her arm. I'm like, this kind of all just feels a bit weird, right? I just want to be a cool guy with a cool life who has an abundance of options. And abundance isn't always having, it's knowing you can have. That's what Daytime Approach gives you. Like when you learn this skill with precision by using a proven system that allows you to get consistent dates reliably from Daytime Approach, it allows you to start experiencing abundance. And Kevin dropped me a voice message in private, and he says something along the lines of, I've heard you speak about this thing, this abundant feeling on your streams, but I never really experienced it until this week, when I can now go out there and I can approach knowing that I can get dates on demand. And that's a powerful feeling, because I think the reason why many relationships fail is because the guy doesn't really want her, he just wants someone. And I've been in this position, right? Before I got started with Daytime Approach, I was in pure scarcity. I just wanted to be wanted. I wasn't even chasing sex, I was chasing approval. Yeah, I just wanted the girls to like me. I wanted my ego to be validated. I wanted to feel as though my presence actually meant something to somebody. And that's why I struggled with women for so many years. I had erectile dysfunction, right? I couldn't get a boner with new women because I was pedestalizing women so much. For me, it was this constant quest for validation, for approval. It comes from my childhood. I had a weird childhood, difficult relationship with my mum, single parent household. She was working multiple jobs just so she could support us. And I always had this fear of the feminine, if that makes sense, because my mum's got a few mental health issues. It's not a blame game, it's just a name game. I've made peace with all this stuff, but when I was younger, I almost learned game accidentally because I had to learn how to say the right thing at the right time. Otherwise, oh no, I might anger mum, I might piss her off. And I learned game, but in a weird way, because I would always enter my relationships with the feminine from a place of fear. It was always, please like me, please like me, please like me. And I see this with a lot of the guys that I work with, even the guys in their 50s, right? Oftentimes with the guys in their 50s, they've got a lot of self-limiting beliefs which have solidified over the years. And when they come and work with me, a lot of the times they think it's game over. I remember one of my clients, who many of you will know, he's called Graham. For those of you who don't know Graham, the story of Graham, as soon as I helped Graham achieve the thing that he wanted, that then gave me evidence that I know without any doubt that I can help any guy over 50 who wants to be helped, who's willing to do the work, right? Because that's probably the most important thing that I can give you on this stream. A lot of guys they have this limiting belief that, oh, cold approach doesn't work, right? Does cold approach still work in 2025? Does this work if I'm over 50? Well, yeah, it does, but you need to become the version of yourself who cold approach can work for. And that's what I do with the guys that I work with. That's why I don't do group coaching. Everything that I do in the field is one-on-one, because what I need to do in real time is help my guys rewire their entire identity, okay? And it's not adding anything new, it's removing the unnecessary. This is what anti-game artistry is. I will explain the exact system later on in this stream. But anti-game artistry is about removal, right? It's about freedom from bullshit. It's not about adding anything else. It's removing everything that isn't you. The best anti-game artistry quote that I ever heard was from Michelangelo back in the day. They asked Michelangelo, yo, Mikey, how did you carve a statue of David? Michelangelo said, I just removed everything that wasn't David's. And that's what the system is that I teach. It's removing everything that isn't you. It's stripping back all of these layers of social conditioning so you can connect with your most authentic self. And it's your most authentic self that these women are looking for. It's not about trying to be everything to everybody. It's simply about being the right somebody for the right somebody. Because if you know that you want a wife, you only need one, right? You don't need to try and be universally attractive. You're simply going out there to find your fuck yeses. Forget about putting women on this stupid arbitrary rating scale. Like, oh, she's a 6, she's a 7.5. No, she's either a yes or she's a no. And the only way you're gonna find that out is by going over and talking to her. Like the amount of times when guys have said to me, oh no, I don't want to approach her, she's a 7. I'm like, dude, shut the fuck up, just go talk to her. No one's allergic to a compliment. And then as soon as that woman lights up and he knows that she likes him, that woman then goes up about 3 points in his mind. So all of this arbitrary numerical scale that we attach to the feminine, it's completely bullshit, right? If you've not done 100 direct approaches yet, you don't even have the right to put women on a scale. You just need to go out there, get the reps in, get feedback, ideally approach with guys who are further ahead than you. That's what we do inside the entourage. And then you'll have a point of reference. But Graham was somebody, 50 years old. He'd spent 3 decades of his life being terrified of talking to women, right? He'd never had a serious relationship. Imagine that, right? Imagine getting to 50 years old, never having had a serious relationship. Like imagine the self-limiting beliefs that are going through your mind. Am I too old now? Is there something wrong with me? Am I ever going to be able to find somebody? So Graham reached out to me. He explained his situation, and I've got empathy for everybody who reaches out, right? I know sometimes on these streams or even in the infields that I post, I think the internet oftentimes gets the wrong impression of me. I think a lot of people see me as this unhinged, obnoxious arsehole who's kind of psychopathic, which, you know, it is what it is. But with the guys who reach out to me, the guys who book in a free consultation call, I've got so much empathy for these guys because I've been in this situation, not at the age of 50, but I know what it's like to feel as though it's game over, to feel as though there's something wrong with you. Like I must have pulled about 20 women back to my grotty apartment in Leeds when I first started Daytime Approach, and I couldn't get an erection with any of them, right? Imagine how debilitating that is for your ego, yeah? So I do get it. I know what it's like to be in that rock bottom. That's where Graham was. He was at rock bottom. And after working with me, we did in-person coaching in Krakow, Poland in 2022 or 2023. I think it was 2022. Anyway, within a week of working with me and just following the system, following the anti-game artistry system, he got himself a girlfriend. They're still together. His girlfriend at the time was 25 years old, so younger and hotter than him, which was like the gold standard for game back in the day. Oh, the woman needs to be younger than you and hotter than you. That was kind of like the standard. I kind of feel as though game is just learning how to get what you want. Yeah, if you've got what you want from this thing that we call game, you're winning. Yeah, you might want a hashtag milkshake. Maybe you're 21 years old right now and you just want to have some fun with the feminine who are older than you. Now, fair fucking game. It's your life. Do what you want to do. We're all going to be dead in 100 years anyway. So Graham got himself a beautiful, stunning girlfriend from Daytime Approach by following the system. Like he literally just copied the system. Yeah, I gave it to him. I held him accountable. I connected him with the right guys. Like we've designed the entourage in such a way that it is impossible for you not to succeed. As long as you're prepared to put in the work though. Yeah, I'm not making guarantees on these streams. I'm not saying all you need to do is work with me, pay your money, and you're gonna magically get a wife-worthy woman. No, the system works as long as you do. Yeah, and it's not about doing your best, it's doing what's necessary. Because a cold, dark truth that a lot of guys don't want to admit is their best is simply not good enough, right? And this was a realization that I had in 2020 when I was a porn addict, when I had erectile dysfunction, when I couldn't get the women that I wanted. I had to look myself in the mirror one day and I just said, your best is just not good enough, Kristian. We need to stop doing our best or what we think is our best. And we need to just start doing what's necessary. One of my favorite mental reframes is we are what we pretend to be. And it doesn't mean fake it till you make it. It's believe it so you can become it, right? We are what we pretend to be. When I go to the Muay Thai gym in Bangkok, I pretend that I'm the world's greatest Muay Thai fighter. Not because I've got this uncontrollable ego, but it allows me to step in to that identity. It allows me to imagine, right, what would I do? How would I train? How would I perceive myself if I was the world's greatest Muay Thai fighter? Because if you run this thought experiment, like we are what we pretend to be, then it'll allow your actions to align with your ambitions. So if you want to attract a wife-worthy woman and you're over the age of 50, then what do you need to do to get that woman? Or even better, who do you need to become? Yeah, what actions do you need to take which are aligned with this identity? So if you're over the age of 50, well, easiest way to do it is apply to work with me. No bullshit. Like, I've got enough evidence now that I know what works. Again, if you're willing to put in the reps, if you're pissed off with your situation, if you want to meet other like-minded guys who are around your same age, you've already got the thing that you want, that's the fastest way. But if you've got resistance, maybe you've not watched enough of my content yet, maybe you don't know, like, and trust me enough, go watch more of the content. Hopefully you'll get to that point in your life soon. But just start going out there and have this knowingness that you can actually achieve it, okay? Maybe something that will help you is if I just share some more stories of guys who are in their 50s who got the thing that they wanted, then hopefully that will inspire you into radical action today. So Graham is the best story, right? If Graham can do it, you can do it as well. I don't know who you are. I'll imagine your name's Steve. Steve, you can do it, right? If Graham can fucking do it, you can do it. Graham, he was at rock bottom, right? Never had a serious relationship, terrified to talk to women. He did 100 direct anti-game artistry approaches with me in Krakow, Poland, went back home within a week, got himself a 25-year-old smoke show. So if he can do it, you can do it. I had a lovely WhatsApp message the other day from another one of my guys, Sean. Sean is, I think he's 52. He might have had a birthday since I last spoke with him, so maybe he's 53. But I worked with Sean in Malaga last year. And Sean was a lot different to Graham because he had relationships. He'd been with plenty of women, but he hadn't found his woman, right? He kind of played the field for a long time, really successful entrepreneur, thriving business. Every single box was ticked for Sean. But when it came to finding his life partner, he just couldn't find her. He was using the dating apps, he was getting drunk in nightclubs, he was trying to strategically get women through social circle that he developed in Malaga, but they weren't really his woman, right? And he was starting to get frustrated. So same thing, I flew to Malaga, I delivered in-person coaching to Sean, I walked him through the anti-game artistry system, he copied it, and we had more work to do than I initially realized because Sean had a lot of self-limiting beliefs. Because I think one of the things with Sean was because he'd built himself up so much professionally, he almost felt as though he should just know what to do. Yeah, I see this with a lot of high achieving guys in their 50s. Oftentimes, they can feel apprehensive to ask for help because they see it as a sign of weakness. But after taking Sean through the process, connecting him with other guys, he did a lot of traveling as well. 6 months after us working together, he met his fiance. So the two of them are going to get married. He messaged me a couple of days back, and he sent me a picture of him and his fiance. And he was just like, "Hey, amigo, just want to show you, like, this is all down to you. Like, this is me," and I won't say his woman's name. But that was just like a beautiful moment to me because, you know, when I'm lying on my deathbed and I'm thinking about all the things that I've done, all the people that I've helped, it's just crazy to me sometimes to think that 50 years from now, there's going to be so many children who are born either directly or indirectly from the work that I've done, right? Actually populating the planet through this movement, that actually gives me chills. You know, it's nice to make money, it's nice to travel the world, it's nice to have this obsession with progression. But I think sometimes it's important to just sit back and smell the roses. You know, like Graham in a beautiful relationship. Sean has met his fucking fiance through Daytime Approach. Mark, another guy who I've made videos on this channel with. So if you are this is actually really good. I completely forgot about this. If you're a guy who's in his 50s right now and you want to see what working with me in the field actually looks like, just type in my name, Kristian Kasanova, Mark, M-A-R-K. Kristian Kasanova, Mark, M-A-R-K. I've got a full coaching series with a guy in his 50s, Mark. He volunteered to make this coaching series, and you can see the transformation for yourself as well. We made 2 different series. Anyway, Mark's got a beautiful girlfriend as well now. So yeah, if you are a guy and you're in your 50s and you're looking for a point of reference, then go watch that series with Mark. So yeah, Mark's got a great relationship. Graham's got a great relationship. another guy that I worked with recently. So before coming to Bangkok, I was in Bali, and I was working with a guy in the field one-on-one out there. Let's think of a name to call him. Let's call him Paul. So I worked with Paul in Bali most recently. I actually made a previous stream on this. So once you've finished watching this stream, then go over and watch the previous stream, because I lay it all out in there. 52-year-old guy, really successful, awesome lifestyle, kind of just hit a roadblock with his dating life. And he knew something needed to change. He'd taken coaching in the past, but it didn't work. And he was in a bit of a sticky situation. So we worked together in Bali, delivered the same system, the same coaching. Again, it's just copy, right? I go in, I give you the system, I hold you accountable, give you the playbook, and then as long as you're prepared to put in the reps, voila, Bob's your uncle. But I remember, it was like, I can't remember how quick it was, but it happened fast. After learning the system, he pulled a beautiful Italian yoga teacher back to our villa in Bali. I explain everything on that stream, so perhaps go watch it. But the reason why I share these stories is, if you're a guy and you're in your 50s, what I would love you to start doing is not view your age as a liability, but view your age as an asset, yeah? Because something that I actually do believe to be true, I would say this is more synonymous with the red pill community, which I don't resonate with a lot of the teachings. That's why I created my own system, because on one side of the fence, you've got the pickup guys, where it's like manipulation disguised as game. Oh, pretend to be something you're not, the 10-minute sales pitch. Then you've got these red pill commentators who think it's all about looks, money, status. Yeah, ignore women until you're 35 years old, and then sexy Susie's gonna knock on your door. Now build it and they will come. Yeah, so I didn't resonate with any of these teachings. That's why I created my own system, and I would say that my system, the thing that I've created, it works a hell of a lot better. But one thing that I actually do agree with the red pill community about is when they say women don't want an equal, they want a superior. Yeah, they don't want an equal, they want a superior. So I think if you are a guy and you are in your 50s, then that is an asset. Yeah, because if you're approaching women who are in their, let's say, late 20s, early 30s, or even their early 20s as well. I mean, Graham was 50, got a girlfriend who was 25. You've got this notion of amused mastery. That's the term, amused mastery, which is like, imagine a guy like James Bond. Yeah, he's seen it all, he's done it all, international lifestyle, he's built himself up, he's crafted his character, he can speak languages, he can fight, he drives cool cars, he dresses well, he's in shape. This notion of amused mastery where nothing phases you anymore. Yeah, if you imagine, right, all of the shit you've had to go through to get to where you are today, all of the obstacles you've had to overcome, all of the hurdles you've had to jump over, all of the times where you hit rock bottom and you weren't sure if you were going to make it, and you did make it because you're here, all of this life experience that you've accumulated, that's fucking sexy, right? So if you're going out there and you're approaching women, and I said this to Kevin, our newest Entourage member, have more of this justified arrogance, yeah? Have this mindset that these women are going to be lucky to meet you today. And you don't want it to be delusional, okay? I think if you are a guy in your 50s, delusional optimism isn't going to cut it anymore. So one of the things that I did when I first started Daytime Approach, when I was broke as a joke and I was an absolute loser, was I applied delusional optimism. I had delusional optimism that I could become the version of myself who could actually live the life that he wanted. I just reversed engineered it, yeah? So you can go back, watch the oldest videos on my channel, and you can see how much of a hopeless troglodyte I used to be. But I created this character from scratch through using delusional optimism. Not delusional optimism that I was the guy, but delusional optimism that I could be the guy with enough practice by making my actions align with my ambitions. I created a personal renaissance document as well, which outlined my ideal character. Again, the person I'm speaking to today, I created this person, which I think is cool, right? But I think if you're a guy in your 50s, then you don't want to be delusional anymore, right? You've spent enough time being fucking delusional. You don't have the time to piss away anymore. You've got urgency. You've got urgency now. So rather than employing delusional optimism, I think what's better for you is applying justified arrogance. And this only works if you've actually built your value. I remember at the start, or somewhere in this stream, I said that the goal is to become the version of yourself who cold approach can work for. Okay, so the older you get, I think the less opportunity you have for, what's the word? The less opportunity, like the less slack you have, right? Because if you're a guy in your 50s and you don't have your shit together, it doesn't cut it anymore. If you're a guy in your early 20s or you're 18 or 19 years old and you still haven't figured life out yet, like that's kind of understandable. I understand we're all works in progress and the more we learn, the less we know. I don't know anything. I get all that. But if you're a guy in your 50s, you need to have your shit together, man. Right? If you're out of shape, if you stink, if you dress terribly, if you don't have money in the bank, if you don't have a good lifestyle, then you've got shit to work on. I would say outside of approaching, I don't even think you should be doing approaching if you don't have your lifestyle in order. Yeah. So like if you're a guy and if you're a guy in your 50s, you're out of shape, you dress bad, you don't have any sort of value that you've built, I don't think I'm the person to help you. This is not a magic bullet. This is not a quick fix, right? We are rewiring who you are. And yeah, I can give you the tools, I can give you the playbook, I can give you the system. But it only works if you're the version of yourself who it can work for. And it doesn't mean you need to be the finished product right now, but for fuck's sake, you need to get the basics in check. I think a lot of guys still run with this weird belief that daytime approach is this cheat code into the sexual marketplace. Oh, I can be this low value guy who works at a fucking car wash. I can have a pot belly and I can just get women through cold approach. No, daytime approach is a cheat code for the right guy. All this is learning how to deliver the value that you've built to the world. If you don't have value to give, then daytime approach isn't going to do much for you, because what daytime approach is it's a hyperbolizer, meaning it will exaggerate your current character. So if you're a guy in your 50s and you're well put together, maybe you're training a martial art, maybe you've got money in the bank, you've got stories to tell, you have a good job, you have a good reputation in your city, then by learning daytime approach with a proven system like the one that I created, anti-game artistry, then what daytime approach is going to do is it's going to amplify your character and it's going to make you more attractive. But contrast that with a guy in his 50s who's out of shape, who stinks, who doesn't have a job, who doesn't have his shit together, and he's walking around central London with a pair of Crocs and a Slazenger polo on, and he thinks, oh, I'm going to hack my way into the dating game in 2025. No, all it's going to do is it's going to exaggerate your character, and you're going to come across as creepy, as weird, because you've not got the basics in check, okay? So I'm very no bullshit with the way that I coach. We had an entourage group coaching call 2 weeks ago. So everybody in the entourage, they get in-person coaching with me. They get access to our private WhatsApp group, which is like having wingmen in your pocket around the clock. We have weekly group coaching calls to keep everybody in check, so you don't lose momentum, you don't slide back to square one. And on one of the calls that we had, one of our guys, one of the problems that he had now, he got over the approach anxiety, he was getting dates scheduled, he was going on dates. But the problem that he was facing was he was scared to escalate. He was scared to escalate on the dates. And he was bullshitting himself, right? He was creating these creative narratives in his mind why he wasn't escalating. He was like, oh, it wasn't the right time. The girl, like her body was ready, but her mind wasn't. And he was creating all of these weird, stupid stories. And I had to call him out on it, because this is what I was saying to you earlier. If you've got no feedback, if you've got no guys to call you out on your bullshit, it's like going to the gym and practicing bad form, thinking you're doing the right thing. I remember when I first started learning Muay Thai, I was trying to learn how to kick properly. After a couple of weeks, I thought I'd mastered it, because I was like, oh yeah, I can kick now. And then I said to my coach, oh, look, my kicks now, they're really good, aren't they? He was like, no, they're shit. You're not even doing the footwork properly. So if he hadn't have checked me, I would have just repeated the same bad behavior over and over again. And I would have had to do a lot of undoing of what didn't work. So as our guy was talking, he was coming up with these creative reasons why he wasn't escalating on the date. I just stopped him mid-sentence. I was like, dude, you're bullshitting yourself. The reason why you're not escalating has got nothing to do with the woman. It's got everything to do with you. You're just scared, right? You're just scared of escalating. He was carrying sexual shame. He was worried about coming off as too forward. I was like, dude, if that woman is on a date with you, it's like an open goal. You just need to kick the ball in. right? She's on that date with you. All of the decisions that she had to make, all of the other opportunities she had to say no to, she's there. She likes you. She wants you. She wants you to escalate. And we had a long discussion about it. And after the call, he was like, dude, just thank you. I was bullshitting myself and I couldn't even see it. So I don't think that my coaching is for everybody. If you're a delicate little snowflake and you want people to kind of just like tiptoe around you, oh, it's okay, I'm definitely not a person for you. I just tell people what they need to know rather than what they want to hear. That's how I turn decades into days. That's how I get the results that I do. It's not by trying to be your friend. It's trying to be your coach. Again, you don't want an equal, you want a superior. But I think what's important about coaching, I learned this recently in Bali. So when I was in Bali, I went to one of the martial arts gyms because I wanted to be consistent with my training. The first time I went there, I had a coach, and this guy was the best fighter in the gym, objectively speaking. And I did a couple of sessions with him. And what I noticed about these sessions was every mistake that I made, he would call me out on it, but he would criticize me to the point where it was almost like he enjoyed the pleasure of making other people feel small. If you've ever been to fight gyms, you sometimes get coaches like this, where their ego is too big, that they just want to belittle everybody. So every time I would make a mistake, he would call me out. Sometimes he would even like almost laugh at the fact that I hadn't got it yet. When he was giving me instructions, I would say okay to confirm that I heard what he said. He'd say, why do you keep saying okay? I was like, dude, what do you want me to say? So after a while, I kind of just broke character. I was like, dude, look, I want to train with you and I respect you, but I don't resonate with your style of coaching. And he just didn't get it. He wouldn't take the feedback. So I stopped training with him. And the next session, I trained with another guy who objectively wasn't as proficient a fighter, but his coaching was so much better. Why? Because he had the magic combination of empathy and authority. This is what you need. If you're going to be coaching people, you need empathy and authority. So when guys work with me, I'm not an arsehole, right? Yes, I will tell you what you need to know. Yes, I will help you break down your limiting beliefs. Yes, I will call you out on your bullshit. But I've been in that situation myself. Everybody in the entourage, we all started off as shit. It's like when you first go to a martial arts gym or a jiu-jitsu gym and you're wearing the white belt and there's black belts in there. They know what it's been like. Yeah, everybody started off as a white belt. So I think this notion of empathy and authority is why guys get results with me, because I will call you out on your bullshit. I will make sure that you get where you want to get to, because my reputation is attached to your success. That's why I'm selective about the guys that I work with, because you're a reflection of me. Yeah? And I don't want the headache of working with guys that I don't genuinely think I can get results for. That's why there's an application process. So beneath this video, you can book in a free call with me. If anything that I've said on this stream so far has resonated with you, then what have you got to lose? Worst case scenario, you speak with me for 30 minutes. And I will just give you a no bullshit breakdown of where you are, the steps that you need to take. If I think that I can help you, I'll explain how. If I don't think I can help you, I ain't gonna try and sell you something. It's just an expensive headache for me. I've got enough clients, my reputation is stellar. I ain't gonna tarnish that for some quick cash. I'll leave that to the rest of the charlatans in here. So what I would like to do now, if it's cool with you, as we finish this stream, is just walk you through the system. Yeah, the system that I teach to my clients, the anti-game artistry system. So you can kind of just use this today when you go out and do your approaches. Would that be useful? If you're enjoying the stream, by the way, just drop it a like. It just tells me that you're enjoying it. I'm kind of just talking to myself. I've got no idea who's actually watching these videos. So yeah, if anything that I've said resonates with you, then just drop it a like. Thanks, I appreciate it. I'm just gonna take a sip of water and then I'm gonna walk you through my really cool, good system that gets results reliably and consistently, even if you're over the age of 50 and you've never had sex before. So really the main element of my system is about how you start the conversation. I think a big reason why guys have what they think is approach anxiety is because they think too many steps ahead. They see a woman that they want to talk to, could be the future mother of the children, it could be the wife, but they reject themselves on that woman's behalf. They think too many steps ahead and they experience failure in advance. Again, this is completely normal, this whole like approach anxiety. I don't think approach anxiety is real. It's not an illness. Anxiety is not an illness, it's an emotion. And like all emotions, it can be handled, it can be controlled. And you're not trying to eradicate that feeling, by the way, you're just trying to embrace it. I still have this approach anxiety. If I've not approached for a long time, if I've not made videos for a couple of months, I feel that resistance. But I think the thing that separates me from a lot of other guys who try and do this is I just recognize it for what it is. Oh, it's an emotion. Oh, it's just my mind trying to keep me safe. Alfred Hitchcock said it best. There's no terror in the bang, only in the anticipation of it. All right, we suffer more in imagination than in reality. Just remind yourself, no one's allergic to a compliment. The first 100 approaches, they're just batting practice. They don't count. So just give yourself permission to suck. I know that can be hard at the start. You might have a lot of ego attached. You might have never been properly rejected before. So I understand all this shit that's going through your mind. Again, this is why I don't understand it. Like, if you are struggling, just find somebody that you resonate with and just get them to help you. It's like, again, trying to teach yourself how to fight. It doesn't make sense. Find someone you resonate with, make sure that they're credible. Have they got testimonials? Have they got a fucking website? Do they actually post videos of themselves in the field helping their clients? And if they tick all those boxes, then just booking a free call with them. What have you got to lose? So the system really is focusing on the only elements that matter, which is open and close. That's what I would say is one of my biggest investments that I've made into this space is just the removal of the unnecessary. Yeah, you don't need to have these crazy, wacky conversation skills. You don't need to be cool and charming and, oh, I need to be seductive. Oh, I need to be playful. Oh, now I need to be more charming. All this fucking bollocks. Really, all you need to do when you're approaching is make sure you open and close with conviction. So the way that I teach this, because these are the two elements that scare guys the most, it's opening, starting a conversation, and then going for contact details. Yeah, sometimes when guys overcome that initial approach anxiety, they start to develop closing anxiety because they've not practiced going for contact details enough. So what I do after studying thousands of these approaches, working with over 200 guys, and really just taking myself from complete beginner to where I am today. And I got coached, by the way, 6 months after I started. I worked with a coach. I started getting filmed. I started getting feedback because I understood I didn't know what I didn't know. Yeah, like watching myself back on camera, it was eye-opening. I thought I was good at cold approach because I spent a decade as a magician. And then when I first started watching myself back on camera, I was shocked. I was like, I'm shit. So we need to be humbled, right? So if I was shit, then the majority of guys were trying to learn approaching on their own. I had a decade of social experience with magic, right? Again, this is why you need feedback. This is why you need accountability. This is why you need to get somebody to be like, right, dude, this is what's not working. This is what's good, but you need to fix this, this, and this. That's what we're going to work on today. So the open, right? What I get guys to do when we're working together is literally go over to women who they find attractive, open and close within the same sentence. You look incredible. I want to take you out on a date. That's all you need to practice when you're starting daytime approach in 2025. This is what works. I know that to be true because it works for my clients. So when you're starting daytime approach, even if you've done a lot of approaches before, you've probably not done anti-game artistry approaches. So forget everything you've done in the past. Start afresh today and start practicing this way because this is what works, okay? So open and close in the same sentence. So find women that you want to talk to, ideally 100 of them. Go over to them, big set of balls. You look incredible. I want to take you out on a date. And look, it's going to be shit at first. You're going to stumble over your words. Your words are probably going to lack conviction. You're going to get a lot of women who look at you like you're some crazy guy. I get that. This is why I recommend, this is like super practical. Have an immersion week. I've spoke about this at length. Many guys will not do this, but if you want to get really fucking great results with daytime approach, you need immersion, right? You need a period of time where you're just hitting it, where nothing else matters, where you're just obsessed with the skill of daytime approach, and you're just devoting all your energy to approach. So just book a week off work or have a week's holiday, go to a city where no one knows you, and aim to do 15 direct anti-game artistry approaches every single day for 7 days. By the end of these 7 days, you've done 105 direct daytime approaches. Congratulations, it's only taking you 7 days as well. Then you take all of that momentum and you apply it when you get back home. Because if you are a guy and you're in your 50s and you've built a good reputation in your city, or maybe you're in a small city where a lot of people know you and you're scared of your colleagues seeing you or your friends seeing you or your fucking family seeing you approaching outside of Greg's, then just go to a neighbouring city. So if you're in the UK and you live in Birmingham, just go to London. To be honest, if you're in the UK, London is the best city. Even if you do have a reputation in London, like, it's such a huge city. It's a city of 10 million people. It's like 10 different cities in one. So just go to an area where you're less likely to bump into people that you know. If you're in the USA, go to New York. You need volume, right? You need volume. You need foot traffic. You need to go through a lot. And this is something that I learned recently as well. A lot of guys think that they're doing good volume, right? So I was speaking with a guy recently. I was like, how many approaches are you doing a week? He said, I'm doing 25 a week. I was like, okay, can you break those approaches down for me? Like, how many of those approaches are you having, like doing the open, having the conversation, going for the close? He's like, well, about 15 of those, the girl just walks off. I'm like, okay, well, that's not really an approach. For me, an approach where you've gone over, you've opened, you've closed, you've carried a conversation, you've built investment, like you've taken that conversation to its natural conclusion. Just walking over to a woman, giving her a compliment, and her giving you this weird side-eye glance and walking off into Wonderland, that doesn't count. So the deeper that we dug, he was probably doing 3 quality approaches a week. He thought he was doing 25. And there's going to be so many guys out there who think that they're practicing the right thing, who are like, oh, dudes, I've done thousands of approaches and I've got no dates. Yeah, but out of those 1,000 approaches, how many of those were actually quality, where you opened strong, you got the proximity in check, you made the eye contact, you spoke with conviction, you removed any element of sexual shame, you closed with conviction, you set up the date during the conversation. The conversation lasted for at least 5 to 8 minutes, so you could actually build the investment, you can develop a connection. Like, oh, I've done 2,000 approaches, I didn't get a date. Yeah, 80% of those were probably shit, right? And this is what guys just don't understand. They think that they're practicing the right thing, but what they're doing is practicing the wrong thing and expecting good results. It doesn't fucking work. You need feedback, you need accountability. You also need support as well from other guys who are in your position. Again, this is what I give to guys. Everything that you could possibly need, I supply it because I've worked with over 200 guys. I know what works. If you're in your 50s, yes, I can help you, but you need to be the version of yourself that I can actually help. I don't know you personally, so just book in a free call. I'll give you no bullshit feedback. Don't book in the call if you're easily offended, if you take offense, if somebody just says how it is, because for a lot of guys in their 50s as well, like no one's ever just give them this no bullshit feedback, right? I work with a lot of high achieving guys, 6, 7, even 8-figure entrepreneurs. People, they're just used to people tiptoeing around them. So I come in, I'm just like, right, dude, forget about everything that you know. That shit, this is what you need to work on. Right, let's get started. So yeah, feedback is so important. But anyway, anti-game artistry, open strong, close strong, in the same sentence. Just rep that out, have an immersion week, go to a city where no one knows you. Now you've got full anonymity, because this is a big issue that guys have. It's like you want a cold approach, but you don't want to be seen being a cold approacher, right? You want to learn day game, but you don't want to be a day gamer. You don't want the women whispering about you. Oh my God, that's that guy that approaches women. So have an immersion week in a city where no one knows it. If you already live in a big city like London, just go to areas or pursue variety. Don't just be going to the same streets at the same time, approaching the same type of girls. Variety. It's a spice of life. But that's basically the system that I teach in a nutshell. I'd love to give you more, but it's kind of all that there is to it. And it operates with the understanding that you're already a valuable asset. Yeah? So it works as long as you do. So once you've got the basics in check, fitness, fashion, finances, you've got a good career, you've got good social skills, hopefully you've got friends, and you're not just this lone wolf who's approaching women on a weekend, has got nothing to invite these women into. You're on a date with a woman, she's like, oh, what do you do? Well, I kind of just approach women on the fucking street. It's not really sexy, is it? All right? So you want to build a life that, well, you want to, what's the pithy quote? Women, they want to be invited into an adventure. They don't want to be the adventure. Shout out Zamperion, one of my OG mentors. But in a nutshell, if you're over the age of 50 and you want to get results from daytime approach, yes, you can do it, but you need to become the version of yourself that cold approach can work for. Underneath this video, you'll see testimonials. Go and watch the coaching video that I made with Mark, and that will show you in the field, me coaching a guy in his 50s. Nice, evidence, cool. And yeah, if you've got to the end of this and you're curious about how I can actually help you, I've helped over 200 guys at this point. Many of them have been in their 50s who thought it was game over. I'm like, dude, it's not game over, it's game on, but you need to do this, this, and this. So if you want me to just help you, if you want me to just help you skip the trial and error, remove all the guesswork, even if I don't think that you're somebody that I would like to work with, you'll still get 30 minutes of my time where I'll aim to help you as much as possible. So there's a link beneath this video, click it, you can book in a free call at a time that best suits you. If you've enjoyed this live stream, drop it a like, and I will speak with you boys again soon. All right, love you. Mwah.